Hello everyone and welcome back to Crown My Run, and as you can see from the banner at the top, it's the Brighton and Hove 10k race. And I'm here today to finally try and break the 38 barrier in the 10k and go into the 37s, hopefully beating my brother D Mills' PB of a 37 minutes and 35 seconds. My current PB set at the Brighton and Hove 10k last year is a 38 and 5 seconds. And then young W Mills on the right has a PB of a 40 minutes and 59 seconds. Their videos will be coming out in a few days' time, but for now, it's all about me, J Mills, and can we break D Mills' PB? I have given myself 3 goals, an A goal, a big old lofty one, try and get into the 36s. B goal, beat D Mills' PB. C goal, get a PB myself, but if that PB wasn't in the 37s, I may retire from running because I've had so many attempts to try and get in there. Today is the day though, I'm sure of it. And if you could all do me a massive favour and like and subscribe for that perseverance despite failure, that would be brilliant, but let's get to it. And we are up and away here at the Brighton and Hove 10k. I'm a lot further forward than last year. Last year we arrived late and we must have started in about 1,000th position, and the opening kilometre was hell. I was having to zigzag left and right, in and out of people, constant surges, but look at the pace at the top right. We're in the 3s straight away, and my goal speed for the first 5 kilometres was 3:45 per kilometre, which is a 37:30, and then I will see where I am, if I can push on or I need to just hold on for dear life to break D Mills' PB. There was a minor 5 to 10 kilometre headwind in this first kilometre, and then we turn around, go the other way for 5 kilometres with a tailwind, turn around 4 kilometres with a headwind, and then the final kilometre with the tailwind. But 5 to 10 miles an hour. Last year, it was more like 40 to 45. The conditions are almost perfect. It's cloudy. It's about 8 degrees. This is my sort of climate. A few hundred meters in now, looking to the top left. We are going at 3:36 per kilometre, so slightly quicker than the goal at the moment, but that's fine. We will look to dial into that goal speed over the next kilometre. And at 500 meters, we're almost there. 3:43 per kilometre. Let's just sit here for the next 9.5k, get our PB, and go have a roast with mum. If only it was that easy. A slight gap opens up here, and I decided I didn't want them to break away too much. I was trying not to surge at all, but I actually think people were just gradually easing off the pace around me, and I wanted to hold it firm and fast at around that 3:45. And at the moment, that speed was enough to keep me consistently just running past people one by one, people falling off ever so slightly. I'm sure in a few kilometres, some groups will start to emerge of people really trying to dig in and stay with people, but for now, just running at my own speed. An early potential nemesis is this Horsham jogger in the red alphas, who I just had a feeling would be someone I'd quite like to stay with. And there's the first indication of how we're doing. The first kilometre, a 3:43, 2 seconds up on the goal speed. Almost perfect, feeling completely in control, praying that it stays like that. Coming to the turnaround now, being careful not to get tripped up on any curbs, as I am a clumsy bastard. Safely through the first turn. Short little stretch here before we turn right, and it's a lovely 5-kilometre stretch where we don't have to worry about any turns whatsoever. Perfect.
Stay on the road!
Sorry, officer, I was just following the person ahead. It was the karting line. I didn't have 4 wheels over the line. I was just, you know, using all of the available track. Please don't give me a penalty. Thank you. At 1.5k, it was still the Horsham runner that was just ahead of me, but we were just drifting off that goal speed, 3:49 per kilometre, so I had to make the decision that he wasn't going to be the one to lead me to glory today. I was going to have to be a big brave boy and move on by myself. So I moved on behind the next pack here, but it was quickly becoming evident that to hit 3:45 was no longer anywhere near as easy as I was hoping it was going to be. I'm 1.7k in, and this is the effort that felt like 10k effort, and it was more like 3:50 per kilometre, so I was already going to have to squeeze that pace to hit 3:45, and that is quite early to have to be doing that. I've hit 170 heart rate, 3 or 4 away from my threshold. This is going to be a grind if I'm going to get the job done today. I'm now up behind a couple of Brighton and Hove front runners, and the guy on the left here running in tracky bottoms, which is a pretty bold move. He's going to have some very sweaty legs, but I suppose he might be, as a Brighton and Hove front runner, absolutely rapid and just doing a slower tempo run today, so he'll be absolutely fine. But I soon decided that they both weren't going along at the speed I wanted, so I moved on through. Through 2 kilometers now, the second one being a 3:46, so I've just about managed to keep on pace, but I was already having to concentrate hard on my breathing and on my form. But at least for now, I was just about in control. I'd stopped that pace drifting. I'm now 3:43 per kilometer, but I knew the effort was a little bit high, so I was gonna have to go above my threshold earlier than anticipated. I was 1:72 now, 1:74, 1:75 is my threshold. I'm gonna be there within a kilometer, and then it's just going to be a huge mental mind game till the end. Can I keep going? How much do I want this PB? How much do I want the overall Mills PB? We will find out soon. Next target to get up to, Lime Green Man. Let's see if I can work my way up behind him. Not quite right behind him, but there is a little bit of a pack forming around here, which is nice, and we're going at 3:44, so that's spot on. Oh no, the camera stopped. Don't worry, I've brought another one with me in my pocket, but I was so confused. I'd made sure it was fully charged. I had no idea why it stopped. It turns out it's because I'd run out of data, but it was just flashing this yellow light at me, and I was taking my hat off, turning it on and off. I'd never seen this light before in my life. Didn't know what was going on. But after maybe 400 meters of definitely losing a bit of time having to deal with this, I decided, right, I'm just going to run for another 1.5 kilometers, and then I'll try and pull the other camera out and attach it to my head. And here we are with that new camera on. Palaver over. Although it took longer than I wished to get it on my head. The clip just would not go in, and I was worried about it pinging off in a random direction. And I was like, am I going to stop for this? Probably would. Cracking content. But no, it's on my head. Disaster avoided. And we've got a completely new set of people here. Look to the top left. Our pace is still just about on, but the heart rate is now almost 180. It was really, really hurting. Let's have a little look at what I'd managed in that 3rd and 4th kilometer. A 3:46 in the 3rd kilometer and a 3:48 in the 4th kilometer. Drifty McGee. I'm now 3 seconds down as we approach halfway. It's not the end of the world, but there's an awful long way to go. And if we keep heading in the wrong direction, this could be over quickly. I've hit 5 kilometers and halfway now. A little bit before the sign, the pink one, you can see on the right. So my watch is maybe 20 to 30 meters off, which does mean if that marker is correct that I'm even further behind than those 3 seconds. But some good news, I had rallied in that 5th kilometer, a 3:43, nabbing 2 seconds back, so only 1 second down on what my watch had down as 5k at least. And as we come through the turnaround now, heading back in the other direction, we're going to see how much of a headwind we're going to have to deal with. And it did feel pretty strong, at least for the first 500 meters. And I had missed it on camera, but I had put in a hard bit of work to follow this Shoreham coaster through. I think I'd overtaken about 4 people. And as I did it, it felt like I could regret this moment as we see D-Mills in the red top going past on the right. He's not that far behind us, to be honest. And I said a prayer. Dear Lord, on this fine Sunday morning, can I not blow up for once and let D-Mills come through? Thank you. Amen. I was working ever so hard to stay with him here, and we were actually picking up the speed, probably more than I should have been. I just need to chill a little bit. But D-Mills' close proximity had flustered me slightly. Just before 6k now, Shoreham Coaster is actually just to my left here, and we're working together to move on through the field. 6th kilometer, a 3:46, just a second lost, and now we are bang on level with the 37:30 goal. But as you can see with us passing that pink 6 kilometer sign, about 30 meters after we did it on the watch, we're probably more like 5, 6, 7 seconds behind. Clinging on, and you can see Shoreham Coaster is well and truly still with me. And despite the overtaking Grand Prix still being fully open for us, it did feel like that pace was again starting to really hurt to get towards 3:45. You can hear the wind. It was fairly blustery for the next kilometre or so, and then it did ease down quite a lot. But during this 7th kilometre, I questioned many life decisions. Why the hell do I put myself through this? 181 heart rate. I could just pull off to the side, go on the pier, play on the slot machines, have a great time. But instead, I'm here because I can't face the family ridicule for the rest of my life. I've got to beat D-Mills. But what your head wants is not always what your body can deliver for you. My body was screaming screaming to stop. I just had to try and completely switch off from those negative thoughts. But I was starting to fall behind him, and 2 runners then come through. I hadn't blown up yet, but 350 per kilometre on the top left. I'm 5 seconds off the goal speed at the moment. I was definitely going through a tough spell. And here is the world's tiniest hill, potentially ending all of my hopes and dreams. Everyone up there's drifted away. This guy's come through. Look, 4 flat per kilometre. This hill is only 4-5 metres tall, but looking back at people's Stravas, so many people lost 5 to 10 seconds in this 7th kilometre. Quite pathetic from all of us, but we've crested the top of Mount Doom now. But how much damage has been done as more people flock through. Oh look, it's Lime Green Man from earlier. It's a crown bloodbath. This was such a tough part of the race to stay motivated. We're about to hit 7 kilometres now officially. What's the damage? It's a 3:53, 8 seconds lost. And I was beginning to think that Damo's time might not be there for me today, but I at least wanted to make sure I got a PB in the 37s. Let's not fully capitulate. But a little tiny bit of a downhill now. See if I can get that pace back in the 3s, because at the moment it's looking truly atrocious for me. 4 flat per kilometre is not going to cut the mustard for me. I need to pick it back up, but it just hurt a lot. Cutting to 8 kilometres now, as you can see the pink sign going through. Again, 30 metres or so ahead on my watch. But look at the pace. I hadn't completely died. I'd got myself back in the 340s. What was that split? A 3:49, so another 4 seconds lost. We're down to 12 seconds at least behind the 37:30 goal, but the Lime Green Man had just about stopped me from throwing away a glorious PB, and I'm still just about on for that. But Dean Mills's 37:35, his PB is, looks and felt very far away, but of course I will see what I can muster up in this final couple of kilometres. I did start to feel a little bit better from here on in. You can see on the left is the finish line, so we need to go all the way up and round, and I think potentially just the mental visibility of that seeing line just made me be able to sniff the finish, and I could just push that little bit more knowing how close we were. And I was able to get back fairly close to that 3:45, but I didn't want to push it too much because I knew I was going to need a big kick to get anywhere near D Mills's PB. I knew it was a real outside chance, as I was at least going to be maybe 16, 17 seconds off on my watch's 10k when we go through 9 kilometres, and it was probably more going to be like 20 seconds because I was going to have to run, I reckon, 40 to 50 metres longer than my watch had. So I was biding my time, waiting for that final home stretch, which is about 800 metres when you turn around and start going the other side. I was not even sure I was going to have much of a kick. I'd been hurting from 3k really badly. I was feeling a lot better than I was from that 3 to 7k stitch, and as this guy came through, I did really consider, okay, do I just go with him, because he looked like he was on a mission at the moment, but I just wasn't confident enough to pick it up much from this far out. Still a 1.5 kilometers to go, so I made the decision to let him go. But he actually didn't pull away from me that much. He definitely slowed up slightly and eased back towards me. 3:48 per kilometre at the moment. I'm just waiting for the elastic band to snap with 800 metres to go, and I will see what I am truly made of. Black armband is getting away a bit more now, though, as I'm just behind these two. We are picking the pace up slightly. We're just 3:47 per kilometre, almost in that final kilometre now. And as we're about to cut onto the pavement, I make the decision to just push a tiny little bit to get ahead of this girl that was on the left of me, and I can then start easing up towards White Top. That 9th kilometre split, a 3:48, fairly happy with that. 3 seconds lost, so I'm 15 seconds behind based on my watch GPS, but I know I'm going to have to run, I think, around an extra 50 metres. Couldn't see a 9th kilometre sign, so couldn't work that out, but last year it was around 50 metres, so I'm sure it will be the same again. So with all that being said, I need to somehow find, I reckon, 20 to 25 seconds in this final kilometre. So I need a 3-minute 25-ish in the final K, which seems highly improbable as we turn left, short straight, and we turn left again. But last year we did manage to do a 3-minute 24, but it was with a massive, massive tailwind of 40 to 45 miles an hour. I do have maybe 5 or 10 miles an hour behind me now, but this is now a huge ask, and it would be my greatest accomplishment if I managed to get anywhere near it, to be honest. We're going to have to overtake a lot of people, so let's put a final straight overtake counter on. It's now or never, J Mills. There's number 1, but we're already almost 400 meters into this final kilometer. We're only just dipping into the 330s. We're going to need so much more. This could be very anticlimactic. With just over 500 meters to go, we get the second overtake just off screen on the right, and we're just in the 330s now, the low 330s. We've got to push so much more than this. There is so many people up there waiting to be taken and needing to be taken if I'm going to beat D Mills's 37.35 personal best. Black armbands is next. We're getting closer with 400 meters to go, but we've only just hit 326 per kilometer, which is what we need for the entire kilometer. So we are going to have to go 3 flat, probably into the 2s, to have a hope in hell of getting this job done. I've taken myself all the way to the right of this massive open path so I can just motor on past these people. 6, 7, 8, 9 overtakes completed. 310 per kilometre, but I need more. Just over 200 metres to go. There's the 10th overtake. Brown Top is going some too, so we're going to have to really dig to get past him. But we're coming up hot on Orange Top, and we're through now. 11th overtake. Have I got any more in me? Yes, I do. Brown Top's no more. Approaching 3 flat per kilometre. I can see the finish line ahead. This could come down to seconds. You can make those seconds up, J Mills. The 2s have been breached. I could suddenly see the finish clock, and I gave it everything I was worth. I couldn't give any more. The lactate felt like I wasn't even moving, but I luckily was. 2:56 per kilometre. Look at the time. 42, 43, 44. Even with a heroic 3:21 last kilometre, and you can see the ramp up of speed over that last kilometre, I'd missed out, or had I? That time on the clock was, of course, the gun time, and I hadn't crossed the line for around 10 seconds, so that would put me around a 37:34, I thought, which would be a second quicker than D Mills's PB. What was the official time going to be? I've only gone and bloody done it. A 37:33 or a 32-second personal PB, but the all-important 2-second Mills PB, D Mills's 10k PB from 2.5 years ago, is no more. The roller coaster of emotions that was that race felt very satisfying at the end to just nab it by 2 seconds. That could have been lost so easily if I dropped my head when all those people overtook me on the tiny hill, but I just about kept my head up and rallied like a warrior at the end. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. We will be back in a couple of days to show you D Mills's race, and he wasn't as far behind as we thought he might be at the beginning of the day. And also W Mills's race that was pretty bloody special as well. We'll be following that. We've got lots of content on Crown My Run. I can also do a park run on this Saturday, so sit back and enjoy the good times. And like and subscribe if you haven't. Cheers.